Welcome to 2017 and welcome to the new MEOdyssey. As showcased in our new trailer, we'll be covering a few new games to go along with our Mass Effect coverage in 2017. And if you've watched this channel, you've probably played or at least know of one of BioWare's other awesome franchises, Dragon Age. Hi, it's Rima from MEOdyssey, and today I'll be giving you guys who aren't as familiar with the franchise a little introduction to the Dragon Age series and its plot before we begin our coverage in the new year. I'll try and keep the spoilers to the minimum, but be aware of them from this point onwards. Here we go. Seen as a spiritual successor to BioWare's previous titles of Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights, the first Dragon Age title, Origins, was released in 2009. Described as a, quote, dark heroic fantasy and based on the Lord of the Rings and Song of Ice and Fire book franchises, BioWare set their new epic in the land of Ferelden, one of three main kingdoms in the world of Thedas. You took on the role of the Voiceless Grey Warden, a member of an elite order that protects Thedas from the threat of the Darkspawn, creatures tainted by the Blight who normally live underground. However, it's said that when these Darkspawn encounter an old god, they can taint it, leading to the spread of the Blight across Thedas. Origins is set during one of these blights, only the fifth in known memory. Your character, the Warden, can come from one of 6 origins, most in any Dragon Age game, and each of these origins can slightly change your perception of this politically charged and tense world. You see, this world is rife with injustice and hardship. Mages are susceptible to possession, making them dangerous but also highly controlled and prosecuted by the Chantry, the dominant religious order of Thedas. Elves are treated like second-class citizens, and Dalish elves, those who aim to live like their ancestors, are in decline. And dwarves are suffering from years on being on the front line underground, acting as a barrier against the Darkspawn. Your character, through various plot devices, will end up in the company of Duncan, a senior warden who's aiming to recruit others to join the warden ranks in order to assist King Cailan of Ferelden in pushing back the Darkspawn. However, during a battle, the king himself is betrayed by an ally and his friend Loghain, leading to the king and Duncan's death and the defeat of the entire force. The Warden and your companion Alistair narrowly escape, with Loghain surviving the battle. He aims to set himself on the throne using his daughter Queen Enora as a means to do so, and using the Grey Wardens as a scapegoat, blaming them for the betrayal of the king. Throughout, you gain a number of trusting companions, including Alistair, Duncan's protege, and a good-hearted former Templar. Alistair is a moral compass of the group and is most likely to lighten the situation with a joke. His heritage is also a crucial point to the plot. And then there's Morrigan, the daughter of the fabled Witch of the Wilds Flemeth. Morrigan comes across as a sultry, mysterious, elusive mage that joins you early on. She's the very opposite of Alistair, as she believes that oneself should take importance. She also seems to have her own plans. And Liliana, a former bard and now a member of the Chantry. Liliana is highly loyal to her faith, however she's shown to be dangerous and ruthless when she needs to be. She's shown as a stoic, poetic and calm person and is a constant source of interesting stories of her coloured past. Along with other interesting companions including Zevran, Wynne, Oghren, Shale and Sten, you aim to take on Loghain, defeat the Darkspawn and put an end to the 5th Blight. However, on the way you will encounter sacrifice, interesting characters and decisions that could shape Ferelden and Thedas. Told in the form of a tale, the narrator and companion Varric Tethras shares the legend of the champion of Kirkwall to seeker Cassandra Pendergast, who's searching for them. In Dragon Age 2, you jump into the feisty boots of a new voiced character, Hawke, a male or female human who's escaping with their family from the 5th Blight. Though only able to play as a human, you will have control of what skills Hawke will have, and this will have specific ramifications in the story later on. Hawke's family make their way to the city of Kirkwall and through various struggles manage to secure themselves some relative comfort and safety. However, Kirkwall is far from safe. Much like the rest of Ferelden, Kirkwall is a dangerous place with significant criminal underground, a looming uprising from the stranded antagonist Qunari forces, and tensions between the mages and Templars who guard them reaching a boiling point. Though Hawke becomes a champion of Kirkwall by protecting the city, Hawke struggles to protect those they love the most, and as the tensions between the mages and Templars seem to erupt in rebellion, Hawke must contend and make decisions that could tip the favour to one side or another. And as is Dragon Age, the Grey Wardens, magical corruption and harrowing decisions aren't far behind, as well as the mysterious substance known as red lyrium that seems to throw everything into disorder. Much like the Warden of Origins, Hawke is joined by a host of interesting different characters, including Varric Tethys, who we discussed, who's not only the narrator but also becomes sort of a best friend figure to Hawke. A highly connected dwarf from the Merchant Guild, Varric is sarcastic, direct, and always looking for ways to make a fortune. Accompanied by his trusty crossbow Bianca, Varric proves, however, that he isn't just in it for himself, becoming the most loyal companion you'll have. Bethany and Carver Hawke. The Hawke twins are your younger siblings, and your main character is shown constantly trying to protect them and traverse this dangerous world. However, it seems that the game has other plans. And Anders, a Grey Warden mage who's possessed by the spirit of justice. Anders aims to help all those around him, however his distrust of Templars and the outlook on the injustice of mages makes him dangerous, even too dangerous for Hawke to comprehend. Along with several other interesting characters, Hawke aims to bring peace to Kirkwall, but the events of this story will have a huge mark on the history of Thedas. And we're here. The latest installment of the franchise, Dragon Age Inquisition, was the first foray into the current generation of consoles, and one of the first EA and BioWare titles to jump into the Frostbite engine. This allowed Dragon Age Inquisition to bring much more of an open and colourful world. Released in 2014, Inquisition saw us return to the world of Thedas, this time as a new protagonist, the Inquisitor. Due to the events of the last two games, Thedas is in pretty bad shape. The Blythe Origins, though stopped by the hero Ferelden, has severely damaged the world, and the mage uprising from Dragon Age 2 has led to a massive mage rebellion, leading them to separate themselves from the Chantry altogether, leading to all-out war. This leads the leaders of both the Chantry and the mages to settle peace by negotiating. However, these negotiations are swiftly brought to an end when the meeting is attacked by a massive explosion and leads to a breach in the sky that floods the world with demons and spirits coming from the Fade. Now, quick side note, the Fade is another dimension of sorts where spirits and demons reside, almost like an afterlife. It's kept separate from the real world by a barrier known as the Veil. Side note over anyway. Both sides then blame each other for causing the explosion, leading to the war intensifying, and caught in the middle is an unknown person of either dwarven, human, elven, or Qunari background — yes, we get to play multiple races this time — who ends up becoming your main character. Your character is found at the site of the explosion with no memory, but the ability to close the rifts that are causing demons to spill everywhere. At first you're the sole suspect, but as the plot advances you discover some evil dude who's corrupted by the blight named Corypheus is behind it all, and all he wants is to send the world into anarchy and enter the Fade himself, becoming God. This would be really bad because it would lead to a whole load of bad things, so the Inquisition is born. The Inquisition is basically a religious military order created in times of great peril in order to bring order to chaos. You soon take on the role of the Inquisitor, who's the leader of it all, and aim to restore peace and prevent Corypheus from destroying the world as we know it. Along with you, you're assisted by some familiar faces including Varric, Cassandra, Cullen, and Liliana, who all return from previous games to join you in the Inquisition. You also have run-ins with some familiar faces too. And you're also joined by a list of new interesting characters who all join the Inquisition for their own personal reasons, but are most likely to have a huge impact in the story to follow. Inquisition itself takes the consequences of the last games and tries to show you a world in chaos that you as the Inquisitor have to put right, all while trying to tend with different ancient evils and forces along the way. And in almost Game of Thrones-like fashion, the Inquisitor makes decisions all over the place, from doling out punishments while sitting on your throne to choosing political forces to side with, leaving your decisions in this game very likely having an ability to shape the world we'll see in Dragon Age 4. So that's a very brief summary on the basic plot points of all the main games of the Dragon Age series. We're trying to avoid too heavy of spoilers for those of you who haven't played the games yet and can go ahead and try and see all the twists for yourselves. I haven't discussed any of the romances, DLC, and intricate political scenarios the games show you, as this would make the video way too long and complicated, and as we're going to cover Dragon Age in the new year, hopefully we can discuss theories, lore, and some of the interesting qualities this franchise has to offer. So we hope you enjoyed this introduction to the Dragon Age franchise, and let us know if you have played the games before, which was your favourite installment in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to stay up to date with all future releases, and please share this video to help the channel grow. Thank you so much for sticking around with me on this one, and may Maker be with you.